If you've been scrolling through endless listings, watching video after video, and still feel like you're one step away from the perfect laser level, you're not alone. The market throws terms like dual slope and IP66 at you, and it's easy to wonder whether any of that actually translates into a tool that shows up on your job site the way the ads promise. I've sat down with a handful of specs, dug through the occasional forum thread, and tried to picture how the Topcon HV2S/RWRBD would fit into a day of real-world work. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the biggest hesitation most people have is about range. A lot of laser levels claim long range, but you end up testing them on a half-finished floor and discovering the beam fades after a few dozen meters. The Topcon advertises 800 m, which is not just a marketing number, it's the kind of distance you actually need when you're staking out a new subdivision or aligning a series of fence posts across a large lot. In practice, that means you can set the unit up once, walk the entire perimeter, and still have a clear, stable reference line without having to relocate the device every few hundred feet. For a contractor who's juggling multiple crews, that saves a surprising amount of time and reduces the chance of cumulative alignment errors. Battery life is another pain point that keeps people on the fence. Most rotary or line lasers I've seen run out after a full day, leaving you with a dead unit in the middle of a critical pour. Topcon says up to 120 hours on a single charge, and that's not a typo. The battery is sealed, and the charger is designed for quick top-ups, so you can leave the unit on a charging pad overnight and have it ready for a full shift the next morning. If you're a freelance handyman who only needs a few hours of operation a week, you'll never tap into that capacity, but the extra endurance does give you peace of mind on longer projects where you can't afford a dead battery to halt progress. Now, let's talk about the dual slope capability. A single slope laser simply projects a straight line. A dual slope one can create two intersecting planes, which is a game changer for interior fit-out work, especially when you're dealing with ceilings that aren't perfectly level. Imagine you're hanging drywall across a room where the floor slopes slightly toward one side. With a dual slope laser, you can set the unit to self-level and automatically generate both a horizontal plane for the ceiling and a vertical reference for the walls, all from a single point. The result is a wall that stays true to the floor without you having to manually calculate the offset. That kind of built-in geometry eliminates a whole class of errors that traditionally required a separate level and a lot of chalk marks. The IP66 rating is the next practical piece of the puzzle. In the field, tools get splashed, dusted, and sometimes even submerged in shallow water when you're working near drainage or after a rainstorm. An IP66 enclosure means the laser can handle powerful jets of water and is completely dust-tight. I've seen cheaper units get sluggish or shut down after just a light spray. With Topcon's rugged housing, you can toss the laser onto a wet concrete slab, wipe it clean, and keep going without worrying about hidden water damage. That durability translates directly into lower total cost of ownership because you're not replacing a cheap unit every season. All those strengths are solid, but there are a couple of trade-offs that matter when you're budgeting. The first is price. Topcon's reputation for accuracy and durability comes with a premium that sits well above entry-level models you might pick up at a big box store. If you're a DIY homeowner who only needs to level a deck once a year, that extra cost could feel excessive. The second is size. The RLHV2S is a professional-grade instrument, so it's a bit bulkier than the pocket-sized lasers you might be used to. It won't fit comfortably in a small tool belt, and you'll need a sturdy tripod or mounting bracket to get the best performance. That isn't a flaw per se, but it does require a little more planning on site. So who should actually put this into their toolbox? If you're a general contractor, civil engineer, or a subcontractor who routinely works on large-scale framing, grading, or concrete layout, the 800 m range, 120-hour battery life, and dual-slope functionality are worth the investment. The Laser Manager app also adds a layer of convenience. You can pair the unit with a tablet, record setup data, and share reference points with your team in real time, which speeds up coordination on complex jobs. On the other hand, if you're a weekend renovator or a landscaper who only needs a basic level for occasional fence line work, a more modest laser will cover your needs without the hefty price tag. Practical weaknesses become apparent when you start looking at the ergonomics of daily use. The controls are tactile,